Welcome. This is in this fun little video, hopefully fun little video, I'll be showing you a new little hobby I'm kind of getting into here, and it's spoon carving. I've already carved these two spoons over the past week, a little over a week, and I've been having fun with this. This is something kind of unique and different. And these are small spoons because the only wood I got my hands on at the time was about as wide as my thumb, as you could see. If I could have gotten a little bit wider sticks at the moment, I would have made a wider spoon. But that said, this has been pretty fun. And you don't need much to get into spoon carving. And you don't even need this, really. I'll talk about this down the road in a minute. I had a knife. Doesn't even have to be a Swiss Army knife, just any little knife, a fixed blade, a folder, and you take a stick that you want. Make sure it's wider than the spoon that you want by a good little bit. You can always shave off more, but you can't grow more wood on. And this has these little wormholes on it. This isn't really an eating spoon. This is just, can I make a spoon? This is the wood I got. I'll get better wood down the road. But you take your knife and you carve off the rough outline of your spoon. You narrow down the handle some. Don't make it too narrow because you need something sturdy to hold on to. And I would recommend, when you're cutting the bowl out, leave about as much handle on this side, because you want something to hold on to when carving. Now, you can just like round off the spoon and then go at it and hollow it out and then, hold it like this and just be careful with what you're doing. But if you're consider making the bowl first and then the rest of the spoon. Just a little tip from someone who's made two already, like something to consider. But I started off using this knife, Marble's GI utility knife, carving off the excess. And I took the awl on my knife and made a few holes here and there. And then took the pin blade on my Swiss Army knife and cut out between the little holes that I dug with the awl on the Victorinox here, this little tool here. And I got a rough shape of a spoon, and I'm like, well, how do I round it out? Like, we have a problem here. Like, I have the initial part here, but it's all rough and ragged. And so I found this that I had stashed away. This is an old-timer carver's knife, and it's not great, it's not bad. I've let it go to rust. But it has this little curved chisel here. And I used a Hobby Lobby chisel as well. Go to Hobby Lobby, you can find these little chisel sets. And there's like 12 chisels in there. They're really cheap, and I took that before I found this. And dug down and got some of that rounded out, but I still didn't get the roundness and smoothness that I needed, but I got it hollowed out. And this, having a shallower scooper blade there, I was able to get in and really just smooth things out. And I got it smooth, but it was a little thicker than what you see here. And that's because after doing that with this, I found these little scrapers here, and they are from a tool that you can get at Harbor Freight, brand Quinn. It's like a scraper set, and you put the little scraper blades up in here, and you can take this as is and just like do a lot of scraping. But I found it was just easier to take this, don't have to have the leather on it. There's another little blade here, and I just take this. This is like the perfect size for spoons, and I just like started scraping and smoothing and just getting it all even. And as you can see, getting some sawdust there. Just keep going, you just round out the spoon, and over time I had this pretty well made. And then for like the handle, I take the flat blade here and just like scrape down and just keep scraping. For the outside curve of the spoon, I took this, just hold it in your hand, drag up, and you can round off the spoon quite well and just keep going. And then about here, you'll need to bust out the knife again, kind of round off that very tip. But between those tools, I have made spoon. I'm planning on trying to use this. It actually seems to be a good little spoon here. I'll try using it. But this one I made with not as good a wood. That'd be a fun name for a carpentry business. Not as good a wood. Make it all one word. As you can see, this is kind of a little little janky spoon. This is only the second spoon I've ever made. Give me a break. But I carved it out flat. Had a little bit of a curve here. That was fine. And what I did is I took the bigger blade. Not that one, actually. I actually did use that. And I used this like a drill bit. I drilled a shallow hole here just by doing that. And then a shallow hole a little bit down by doing that. And then I took the pin blade on my Victorinox, or you could have done, if you don't have a Victorinox, take another one of these and just pick your way down. But I took the little pin blade and cut the distance between those, making a chamber here that you see here. And then just took this and just started rounding, and you got to go both directions here and there. Round on this side, go here, and you just carve and carve and carve. Then I took this, you know, carved off the rough outside and dug out that and made it a little bit more steep going around. And in 30 minutes, I had this. And that is an improvement in a way, because over a course of 3 hours, over like 2 days, I got this. So just by gaining the knowledge on how to use these little scraper bits here, I was able to speed up the process and make an almost equivalent volume spoon here. And, you know, that's just something to consider. As someone who's just started doing this, I'm sure I'm making the professionals out there mad with my little tactics. I don't have a proper spoon chisel set. I don't have the little rounded wood carving knife. I hope to get one day, but I don't have one right now, so I'm working with what I got. And I think if you had nothing else and you wanted to buy one thing to carve spoons, I would recommend the Quinn scraper set from Harbor Freight. There's a little file that'll go in here that you can use to keep your thing sharp, but you don't really need that. And just using like these 3 blades right here really is all you need. You might want the flat attachment, kind of get the top of the spoon part there flat and even. But really all you need are these, and I would recommend, if you want to try this at home, take your wood, get the top nice and flat, figure out how deep you want the spoon, you know, split a stick down the middle, get it flat and smooth on top. Take your little rounded bit of choice here, whether this one or the bigger one, if you've got a wider stick. You don't have to have it the size of your thumb. You can make it that wide if you want, or that wide if you want. Mess around a little bit. And just use this like a drill bit. Drill holes at the outer edges of where you want the spoon cavity to be. And then take that and just go in and just start scraping. Trying to do a little bit here on camera so you can see what's going on here. Just do some scraping. You can get a little wild with it, but be careful that you don't cut yourself. And just do that until you get a nice round spoon that you want. And then use these inverse curves to shave off the outside to get the outside curve of the spoon that you want. And in 30 minutes, if you don't mess around and cut yourself, you should have a spoon at least like this. Maybe even better than that. So, little hobby I've been getting into here, spoon carving. I'm planning on making more spoons. Follow me on Instagram, JSPR_EDC, to see any new spoons that I create down the road. It'll probably be a little while before I get there, but when I get there, I'll start making some, and I'll be posting pictures of them. And these are going to be spoons that I'm going to be keeping around the house to use or doing other stuff. So, thank you for listening to me ramble about my new little hobby, and hope to see you in the next video. Until then, farewell, carry well, and bye-bye.